Welcome back. Orthopedic resident doctors and young surgeons in Nigeria and West Africa now have a special center for training and retraining in orthopedic and trauma management. The center, set up at the National Orthopedic Hospital, Igbobi, Lagos, in collaboration with the International Society for Orthopedics and Traumatology, is expected to expose the doctors to surgical skills using models and mannequins as if working on real patients. At the commissioning of the center, the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Ministry of Health, Mr. Linus Awute, used the occasion to advise the resident doctors on strikes in various public hospitals across the country over welfare issues. He said they should toe the path of dialogue.
This is a new government, okay? So we are saying that the timing of this type of strike is wrong. Secondly, we have also found nothing of great profundity that will warrant the strike of this magnitude, because we have not seen anything that threatens the existence or the foundation of the resident doctors to warrant a strike of this magnitude, given the fact that everybody in the health system, every worker in the health system, from head to toe, has one problem or the other. So you don't just go on strike as a means of solving that problem. First of all, you have to toe the angle of dialogue. And so far, I have not seen any moment of dialogue that preceded this strike under this administration. And that is why I feel embittered by that.
So what are you going to do about this? Because we really need to get that.
It is very, very simple. Okay, you are demanding for a payment that is not in the budget of 2015. So the solution is simple. You wait so that 2016 budget articulation will embrace all these understandings. And that will require of you to call off the strike.
Well, it's time now for business news, and here's Anne Nwawudo.
Hello and welcome to Business News. Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, is confident that foreign exchange control policies introduced by the Apex Bank are beginning to yield positive results. The CBN governor had also ruled out speculations on the valuation of the naira, despite concerns about the tough outlook of the Nigerian economy after fall in oil prices. In an interview granted to the London-based Financial Times newspaper, Mr. Emefiele clarified that although access to foreign exchange was restricted for some importers, the CBN had not banned the importation of the items. Nigeria's Apex Bank last month barred importers of 41 items from accessing forex at the interbank market, arguing that products could be produced locally. Data from the Central Bank of Nigeria shows that official reserves rose by $2.5 billion in the month of July to $31.5 billion on a 30-day moving average basis. Researcher FBN Capital says that this increase can be attributed in part to the CBN's administrative measures, particularly restriction of foreign exchange access by some importers. Imports of the listed goods accounted for 20% of foreign exchange utilization, amounting to about $900 million monthly. FBN Capital also says this could mean that the plugging of foreign exchange leakages by the CBN has begun. The investment firm says it could also explain why the FAAC's distribution of June revenue was higher than when oil prices suggested the opposite in the month of May. The consumer price inflation for the month of July may rise marginally to 9.3%, and this is a projection by research firm Financial Derivatives in Lagos. According to the researcher, if the forecast proves accurate, then it will be the 8th consecutive rise in inflation recorded in the year 2015. A few days ago, the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics confirmed a 2.4% increase in the combined unemployment and underemployment figures to 26.5%. A rise in inflation rate will push the index to 35.8%. After an initial poor beginning in the year 2015, Nestle Nigeria PLC impressed in the second quarter. The recent second quarter results brings the company's performance in line with revised forecast of financial research analysts at Codorus Capital, who have now retained 146.2 billion naira revenue forecast for the company. This projects a 20% year-on-year growth and 2015 earnings per share of 25 naira 21 kobo compared with 28 naira 5 kobo in the year 2014. Although the performance in the second half of 2015 further confirms the company's resilience, analysts at Codorus Capital say they will keep expectations conservative for the remainder of 2015. 4 days of positive trading were reversed today at the Nigerian Stock Exchange as equities closed southward today, down 0.17% to close at 31,441.71 points. Bolaji Akiwale tells us more.
Hello, welcome to the Stock Market Report. The Nigerian Bourse reversed 4 days of positive trading this week to close in the red, down 0.17% to 31,441.71 points. 40 oil share price appreciated 4% to 208 naira. Mobi gained 3.23% to 160 naira per share, while Pt.3 shares climbed 4.58%. Guinea's share price was down 4.38%, Total was set back 5.25%, while Flour Mills lost 5.97% of its share price. Investors exchanged 315 million shares of Continental Insurance. 47 million units of Transcorp shares were traded, while 24 million shares of Zenith Bank were transacted by investors. By the close of trading, 524 million shares had been exchanged for 2.3 billion naira in 3,432 deals. And that's it on the Stock Market Report. I am Bolaji Akiwale.
Thanks a lot, Bolaji. Mahindra two-wheelers, part of Mahindra Group which manufactures cars and IT equipment, has launched a range of motorbikes, the Mahindra Arrow and the Mahindra Centuro. The Mahindra Duo, which is being marketed by VIP Merchandise Enterprises Limited in Nigeria, boasts of features which are not common in already existing two-wheelers in the country. Our correspondent Miriam Lale Yusuf was at the launch and now reports.
Business moguls, bank executives, representatives from the Indian Embassy, a royal father and other guests are present here. The occasion is the launch of the Mahindra two-wheelers. The head of exports of the company explains that the two-wheeler is passed through a battery of tests to ensure it can endure any climatic conditions and all terrains.
Today we are working in around 17 countries, but we are waiting for a product, a special product which we were trying to make for Africa and particularly Nigeria.
There's applause at the unveiling of the Mahindra Arrow for commercial use and the Mahindra Centuro geared more towards personal use.
It has a double cradle chassis, it has a LED tail lamp, it has got a metallic front fender, it had got leg guards. Faster because it is a 110cc bike, not a 100cc bike. Bigger engine.
The Indian High Commissioner in Nigeria has a bit to say about what Mahindra has to offer the country.
What do you mean by after-sales service? Spare parts and mechanics. That is where the employment creation comes. You will appoint dealers where they will create the employment. When you today see the traffic, very soon I feel that Aliko Dangote and Mike Kadenuga will come to Mahindra and Mahindra to buy a motorcycle because they won't be able to reach the office very soon in Lagos.
With a starting price at 120,000 naira, the Mahindra motorcycle can be purchased in any of the outlets at Ikorodu Road, Ilupeju and Songo Ota. Mary Alale Yusuf, Channels Television News.
Well, that's it on Business News for tonight. I am Anne Nwawadu. The rest of the news at 10 continues in a moment.
Nigerian Breweries PLC has unveiled the 12 finalists for the 8th National Arts Competition for the year 2015. At a ceremony held in Lagos, the Corporate Affairs Advisor to Nigeria Breweries, Mr. Kufre Kanem, says this year's finalists were rigorously selected by a seasoned panel of judges.
Looking rather calm, cool and calculated, but beyond this unassuming appearance lies the in-depth creative prowess. Of the 200 entries across the country, these are the 12 finalists for the 8th edition of the National Arts Competition sponsored by Nigerian Breweries.
I recognize that the arts play an important role in strengthening the cultural values of our society. Our sponsorship of the National Arts Competition remains a significant part of our broad spectrum of initiatives, and we cover diverse areas like health, water, education, talent development, and youth empowerment across the country.
How does it work and what is at stake for the sector, the talent, and consequently on national development?
If we are able to get these guys to shape and direct and sculpt the future history, the history that we want and we imagine for ourselves, I think that's more important. That's just as important as anything, any kind of, cultural or scientific invention that anyone can think of.
Let's pick the mind of some participants and what they are prepping to do.
I think they are really doing great. I think others should emulate that and then support all the artists so that we will not be afraid if our child goes up tomorrow and say, I'm going to major in art, I'm going to be an artist. So we'll be happy that I really have an artist as a son, as a daughter. I have a sibling that is an artist. You'll be proud to say that you have an artist in your home. So
NBPLC won't just put money for the event. They say there's a commitment to take these budding talents by hand, help them grow until they can stand as a colossus.
We want to develop new artists, contemporary artists, and this platform, for instance, is not for the established artists. It is, I think I can be an artist. I've got ideas on how to be an artist. Where can I go and test it out? This is the platform where you go test it out. And so you don't get stuck in one profession where you would have wanted to do something else. You come in here. Over the years, we've discovered new artists who have left teaching, who've left banking, who've left some other legal profession to take arts full-time. So the National Arts Competition creates that basis.
It's part of winning with Nigeria. Watch out in a few years for these guys. Olu Phillips, Channels Television News.
Shareholders of Mutual Benefits Assurance can rest assured that their investments with the company will blossom, even with the dwindling fortunes of crude oil in the global market. The management of the company made this promise at the Mutual Benefits Assurance Shareholders Investment Forum and the celebration of 20 years of existence of Mutual Benefits Assurance.
Excitement rents the air for the management and staff of Mutual Benefits Assurance. The last 20 years of the company's existence have not only been eventful, but also rewarding.
We give all glory to God Almighty, who has graciously assisted us from the beginning up till now. 20 years in the life of a company, it looks so long, but I tell you, when you look at the life of corporations and institutions world over, you know that 20 years is just like yesterday. What does that say? That the journey is still far ahead. One day, we all leave the stage, but we want to ensure that the structure we leave behind is able to carry the vision over and over and over and over again.
More than 80 branches nationwide, arguably Nigeria's leading life and general insurance company with investments in oil and gas, equipment leasing and real estate development. The company reckons that the successes recorded over the years call for some celebration.
Having come this far is important to appreciate and also interact with our various stakeholders, particularly our partners. This provided for us a very good avenue to share our success story with our various stakeholders and deeply express our appreciation for their support in the journey so far.
We feel we've achieved a milestone that is worth sharing with the entire public, and that is the reason we're called the gathering.
And with the company's giant strides in the last 20 years, hopes seem high for what the future will bring.
Still ahead on the news at 10, excitement is here again as the 2015-2016 English Premier League season gets underway this weekend. Please stay with us.